Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Mike. It is Monday, December 2nd. This is your morning setups. Welcome to December, guys. Last month of the year. So, whatever you did last month, forget about it. This is a new month. We move on, we move forward, we make new trades, we get back into the swing of things. Futures were up big a couple hours ago when I first logged in about 90 minutes ago, and you can see we've steadily been rolling over. We've had a lot going on over the weekend. So, start off with it. Trump signed the Hong Kong bill when the markets closed on Friday. So that came in. China has responded by sanctioning the U.S. companies in Hong Kong, as well as no longer allowing U.S. troops to come into the Hong Kong port and warships. So a lot going on there, a lot of downgrades this morning. China manufacturing data was strong. Macau numbers were horrific. And you have just kind of a hodgepodge of stuff here. Trump is also threatening tariffs now on Brazil and Argentina on steel and aluminum. So a whole mess of stuff going on here this morning, hitting the market as we go into the last month of the year. And, quite frankly, you have inflows this morning. So we'll see. From an economic standpoint today, economic data, you got PMI manufacturing, ISM manufacturing, and construction spending all in the first half an hour. So bear in mind with that, any trades you make in the first half of the day. For people who are new, we often refer to Monday and Tuesdays as option premium burn days. Be careful with weekly options. Very, very often they will come in and they will do their best to get people to chase in, get into them, and then premium them out. For those who were with me last week, I took that hit on Facebook because I took it on Monday and it waited till Wednesday to go, and I didn't want to sit in the weekly options. Bottom line, that wasn't a week, it was in this week's. Bottom line is the market's flashing some, it's not sure signs here. Okay, it was up strong. It didn't seem to care until China issued the sanctions. So let's go to the ES and let's do our normal routine here. On the ES, nothing really changes here. This nice move, new all-time high today on the ES into the top of the Bollinger Band where it pulled back, right? You can see we are back under this trend line again on the ES, unable to hold it here. So, some people, I've seen some other people are drawing it like this. You could draw it like that if you want at this point. However you want to draw it, there is a trend here, an uptrend position that is intact. Bottom line, still above the 8-day, no harm, no foul yet within this market. Crude continues to go sideways, big wide range candle on Friday. Today there's news that OPEC wants to step in, up a little bit. You can see crude struggling. We talked about that, can't get going. Bonds, come on, boss. There we go. Bonds slowly rolling over. Remember, Fed meeting coming up in 2 weeks. Slowly rolling on down here. Nothing, no fear in the market so far. And what's gold doing? Gold doing still nothing here. So overall, there's a whole heck of a lot of nothing going on here. We talked about the VIX not showing much fear. Popped up from under 12 on Thursday into there. Now it's pushing 13. So quick 2-day move already in the VIX, getting it back into this range after bleeding out of it shortly. A lot of people think that the VIX is getting ready to make a big move to the upside. I was reading an article over the weekend talking about how the VIX is short. People are short the VIX in the largest quantity seen in a long time. Typically, when they get really short, it's when the VIX reverses and smacks. We'll see. The contrarian indicator. All right, so that brings us to today. Let's go to sentiment. Sentiment is kind of neutralish, right? Put the call right in the neutral zone, nothing going on there. The New York oscillator plus 36, it's neutral, nothing wrong here, right? Room to go either way. Oops, missed that one. The NAMA plus 85, a little hotter, tech running hotter, but not horrible. And the put to call bled down on Friday. So breadth was bad on Friday. You see it came in kind of chopping around here, not quite ready to release. For today, we are now almost back to neutral, right? Back almost to where we closed on Friday, just off of it now by about 50 cents after being up $1.50 at one point. So watch the SPY today, see what it does. First support would be right here. Okay, first support. If we lose we lose Friday's close, Your next support is the 8-day, 312.97, call it roughly 313. That's support one. If it really wants to play games and shake the tree, they could shake it to 310 without an issue. Here's your 21-day. Notice how that's now lining up with this range, right? All these pivots. Look at all these candles that come together. That's your next area. They can still shake us all the way down to 302.37 where we broke out from and have no issues, okay? And that's a ways down there. Notice the Bollinger Band way up above that now. So a lot going on here. The markets still feel fine. Look at the volume on Friday. The volume was actually high. Remember, it was a short session. So in a short session, we did a pretty good day on the volume compared to the previous days, right? For a half-day session, we did almost as much as Wednesday and almost as much as Tuesday. So pretty interesting there. But it was overall a very low volume week in the markets, which is typical. Right. If this is a fake out, we reverse, we take out, and we take out 315.50. That's what to watch for the upside today. So where's that bring us to today? First of all, watch VXX. If this market wants to dump, VXX would be the place to go. Notice it's not participating. You see the VIX is up at highs and the VXX is not even above Friday's high. So it's not participating yet. If the market's going to get feared, this is going to take off. Okay, this will have to play catch up. So keep an eye on VXX. Apple today got a point increase. It was up big. It's come back in. We'll see how it handles that. Got a point increase at JP Morgan to 290. Deere got a downgrade. I mean, there's just downgrades all over this market today. Okay, Deere got a downgrade. Roku got a big time downgrade to underperform and price target of 110 at Morgan Stanley. Okay, so that's a huge hit for Roku on this one, okay? Getting beaten up pretty good here already. You can see it's already down $12 already from the close on Friday. Let's take a look at this. It's at 148.50, right? So right through the 21-day. If it loses a 21-day, we may have a date all the way down here at 131. So keep an eye on Roku. Roku's been one of the better names. If this one gives in, right, you could potentially say now you have a lower high. Here was your high. Climbed up, this would be your lower high, right? If it comes in, you could watch to see if it makes a lower high here. Remember, this failure day still stands out. Broke out on this day, followed through quickly in the first 10 minutes, and then reversed and came crashing back in. That is a breakout failure, okay? So we'll see how that handles that. What else out there today? Keep an eye on the stronger names. Microsoft. 8 days right here. Does it hold it and bounce? Maybe worth a trade off of that. Microsoft not down all that much here. Same thing with Disney. Disney's been a strong name. See if it wants to reconnect with the 8-day. If it does, maybe it tries to go. Amazon this week. We have Investor Day coming up on December 3rd, okay, for their AWS services. Keep an eye on them. Big, ugly candle on Friday. Gave back, basically re-engulfed the previous day's action. King, queen candles. Never good. When you see that, if it can't hold here, watch for a tip to the 8-day at 1783. Home Depot has their investor day, analyst day coming up on December 3rd. We saw that call buying last week bounce to the 8-day where it failed. See if it wants to wake up here. GE also has an investor day today. So you can keep an eye on GE to see if it gets any traction off of that. Bottom line is the markets here, tonight in the pre-market showing a little bit of stress. We'll see. Overall, they've looked fine. Names like Twitter still may have a date with that gap if it wants to wake up, watching it for a move up to this 3240 area. Facebook to the long side if it wants to go, still looking good, although a little bit of a failure candle there on Friday, but actually closed green. So keep an eye on the action today. Watch the flow, see what they come after, see what it does today. If the market dumps VXX, you could try Nugget. They may go running back into that one. You saw they went already there on Friday. Puts on your favorite indexes. I wouldn't be afraid to buy puts on some of these names here if they can't get going. Pay which ones you want. I would play the ones that have been weaker. To me, Netflix here is a little bit of a harder name at this point to figure out. After being beaten up and looking weak, it's bounced up and has taken out the earnings high here, and now looks like it wants to try to move up to the 200-day around 230. If it dips to the 8-day and holds, try it off of there. Notice that's been support. All right, guys, I'm live with you today from 9 to 9:30. We'll go over any changes, 10:30 to 12:30, and 3:30 to the close. Everybody have a fabulous day trading, and I'll catch you all shortly.